Welcome to the maths video series for class 9th. And here we have started the chapter number 6, that is financial planning. This is the second part in which we are going to study about income tax. How the levitation or computation of the income tax is done and the examples related to it. So let's start. Now when we say income tax, what is the idea behind this income tax? Let's try to understand it first. By charging some taxes from the citizens, government is completing all the schemes or trying to implement all the developmental schemes in the country. So here, whatever tax we are going to give from the part of our income, that will be used for development of the country. So we have to pay the tax, and that is a duty of every citizen. Then only development of the country will be there. So here some of the taxes are direct taxes and some are indirect taxes. Direct taxes are the taxes which we are knowing that this tax I am giving. We know that tax. For example, if I am giving professional tax, then I know how much tax I have given directly. But some taxes are there, indirect taxes. Sale tax is there, service tax is there. When we are purchasing, import, exporting any goods, that time we don't know how much tax we have paid. So that is indirect tax. Here we will see now some of the particular rules are there regarding this income tax payment. So let's see that. SSE. An SSE is a person in common language, we can call it as a taxpayer. The person who is liable to pay the income tax according to the income tax rules is called as an assessee. Next we will see the financial year. Financial year is the year in which a person is earning the money. During this year, from all the sources it can earn the money, but the year is considered from 1st April to next year's 31st March. Next is assessment year. The person who has earned the money in financial year will have to pay the tax according to the income tax rule. So the income tax will be calculated in the year followed by financial year, and that year is called as assessment year. For example, 2020-21 is the financial year, then its next year, that is 2021-22 will be the assessment year, in which the taxpayer or an assessee has to pay the tax. Okay. Now how much tax we have to pay? That is decided by the age. So up to 60 years, what will be the particular payment of the tax? How it will be there? 60 year onwards, as we call the citizens as senior citizens, what type of tax they have to pay? Here we are talking with respect to income tax only. So here we'll see some of the tables which will give us information about how the income tax is calculated on the income of a person. So let's go through both the tables and try to understand it.
Let's study the first table. It is for the individuals up to the age of 60 years. Taxable income slab is given, income tax is given, education cess, and secondary and higher education cess, what is to be paid, that is given. So for the persons up to 60 years age, up to 2,50,000, they don't have to pay any tax. Next income slab is 2,50,001 to 5 lakh. These persons have to pay 5% on taxable income minus 2,50,000. Plus education cess 2% of income tax, higher education cess 1% of income tax. Third income slab, if it see 5 lakh and 1 to 10 lakh. Here the persons has to pay compulsorily 12,500 plus 20% on taxable income minus 5 lakh. 1 lakh 12,500 plus 30% of the taxable income minus 10 lakh plus education cess and higher education cess. But if the income is up to 50 lakh, they have to give then 10% of the surcharge, that is the tax on the tax. And if their income is more than 50 lakh, then they have to give 15% of income tax as a surcharge. Now this is the second table which is for the senior citizens from the age 60 to 80 years. Here the income tax concession is up to 3 lakh rupees. Next slab 3 lakh 1 to 5 lakh, as usual like 5% on taxable income minus 3 lakh they have to pay, including education cess and secondary education cess also they have to pay as a income tax. Next two slabs are same like the first table, only the difference is there, that is in the compulsory amount 10,000 and 1 lakh 10,000. So you can refer that. Next one, surcharge is also same for those who are earning more than 10 lakh or more than 50 lakh. So this you have to study the table, and depending on this you have to answer the questions.
Let's solve some of the examples which are related to the income tax. Particular situation is given, practical examples are there, and you have to calculate the income tax. So let's see practice set 6.2, some questions.
Now this is the first example from practice set 6.2. For this we have to refer the table. Now here name of the individuals are given, age is given and taxable income is given, and you have to write the answer whether they will have to pay the income tax or not. So first one will see Miss Nikita. Her age is 27 years. So her income tax or the taxable income will fall in the income slab, that is 2 lakh up to 2 lakh. So for up to 2 lakh, the persons up to 60 years does not have to pay any tax. So here Miss Nikita will not pay the tax. Second example we'll see, that is Mrs. Kulkarni. Her taxable income is more than 2,50,001. Miss Mehta, her taxable income is more than 5,01,000. And Mr. Bajaj, his age is more than 60 years. So if we refer table number 2, then his income falls in the taxable income slab, that is 5,01,000 to 10 lakh. So Mrs. Kulkarni, Miss Mehta, Mr. Bajaj has to pay the income tax. But Mr. De Silva will not pay the tax because the income tax for the super senior citizens, as his age is 81, above up to 5 lakh it is exempted. Mr. Kartar Singh, age 48 years, works in a private company. His monthly income after deduction of allowances is rupees 42,000, and every month he contributes rupees 3,000 to GPF. He has also bought rupees 15,000 worth of NSC, that is National Saving Certificate, and donated rupees 12,000 to the PM's Relief Fund. So compute his income tax. So let's see what is the solution of this example.
Let's see this example of practice set 6.1. Mr. Kartar Singh has a monthly income of rupees 42,000. Monthly income is given, so we have to find out yearly income. So we'll multiply by 12 and we'll get the income 5,04,000. Now his contribution to GPF, National Savings Certificate, PM's Relief Fund is given. That means these are all deductions. So GPF, that is given 3,000 per month. So if you multiply by 12, we will get yearly GPF contribution, that is 36,000. Then National Savings Certificate, yearly it is there, so rupees 15,000, and PM's Relief Fund rupees 12,000. So how much is the total deduction? That is rupees 63,000. Now here taxable income we have to find out, that is income minus deductions. 5,04,000 minus 63,000, so it is 4,41,000. So from the table you can find out this taxable income falls in the income tax slab. Which one is that? That is from 2,50,000 to 5 lakh. So let's see from table, if you revise the table, you will find out that income tax is 5% of taxable income minus 2,50,000. So 4,41,000 minus 2,50,000 will do. Here 5% means 5 upon 100. Multiply by this subtraction is there, 1,91,000. And if you multiply, you will get the answer rupees 9,550. Now this is not only the income tax. Okay. So here this income tax will calculate, that is rupees 9,550. This is not the final income tax. Still education says and higher education says is to be added to that income tax. Now if you refer table number 1, the taxable income slab, that is second one, 2,50,000 1 to 5 lakh. If you see that, you will find out education says is 2% of income tax. What is income tax which we have calculated? Rupees 9,550. So 2% of 9,550, if we find out, we will get the answer, that is rupees 191. Higher education says is 1% of 9,550. If we calculate that, we will get it as rupees 95.50, that is 50 paise. So our total income tax which we are going to calculate for Mr. Kartar Singh is the income tax rupees 9,550. Then education sales, for the primary education sales we can say rupees 191, and higher education sales, that is rupees 95.50 paise. So here total income tax, if we add, we get it here, that is 9,836.50 paise. So this is our income tax computation or calculation for the earning which Mr. Kartar Singh has, that is monthly earning rupees 42,000. Okay, so like this way some examples are given and we have to find out the necessary things which are asked. So let's see one more example here.
Let's see the solution. Income is rupees 4,50,000. So from table, as he is the senior citizen, he has to pay 5% of taxable income minus 3 lakh, that is income tax rupees 7,500. Education says 2% of income tax, that is rupees 150, and higher education says 1% of income tax, that is rupees 75. If we add this all the taxes, we will get here the total income tax is rupees 7,725.